Welcome to Bathurst on Wiradjuri country in regional New South Wales. Once the first settlement in regional Australia, now a thriving and expanding regional hub of over 45,000 citizens. Bathurst is just 3 hours drive from both Sydney and Canberra, located west of the Blue Mountains. Perhaps best known for world-class motorsports and the iconic Mount Panorama, Bathurst has so much more to offer. The Bathurst region is regarded for its rich cultural heritage, its exemplary historical architecture, its beautiful natural landscapes and delightful public parks, its fantastic towns and villages, and so much more. The Bathurst region has over 15 primary schools and 7 high schools. The town is home to Charles Sturt University's main campus, a large TAFE campus, and in this town, the medical students from Western Sydney University get to do their 1-year clinical placement at Bathurst Hospital. The University of Notre Dame is also situated in Lithgow, another iconic town on your way from Sydney. In Bathurst, there are fantastic restaurants, excellent pubs, a brewery, and great cafes. Retail and boutique industries are thriving, and there is a constant need for tradesmen as Bathurst is ever expanding. Healthcare and social assistance are the biggest employers of Bathurst's large workforce, thanks largely to its modern hospital and additional services. Many healthcare workers move to Bathurst annually, and twice a year, the local council organises a public welcome for new arrivals. The Bathurst Health Service offers clinical placement opportunities for students from 3 universities, including Charles Sturt University, University of Sydney and Western Sydney University. The proximity to metropolitan areas, relaxed lifestyle, career prospects, family-friendly atmosphere, low cost of living and better work-life balance make Bathurst very appealing for those looking for a change. We've been speaking to staff at Bathurst Base Hospital who are going to share with you what life is like in Bathurst for healthcare professionals.
Hello, I'm Natalia, a physiotherapist working in the emergency department, the ICU and the osteoarthritis chronic care program at Bathurst Hospital. So we moved to Bathurst looking for an escape from Sydney, from the hustle and bustle, something a bit more country, rural, slower pace, easier life, more affordable housing. We were able to afford to move into the house of our dreams that we never could have in Sydney. The big backyard, 4 bedrooms, a place for our daughter to grow up, run around. It was quite difficult to know, moving to Bathurst, what it would be like. But we were really amazed to see the Bathurst Hospital having some great facilities, active emergency department where I slotted in straight away. Yeah, it's been an absolute dream moving to Bathurst from Sydney, being able to drive 5 minutes to work or ride my bike, being able to park right at the front of the hospital with no charge. We've made friends so quickly. Everybody in Bathurst has been incredibly friendly. My partner and I were both blown away by how welcoming everyone was. Initially, we were a bit worried about coming into an established community, rural community that might be a bit hesitant about outsiders or Sydney-siders, but no, everybody has been so friendly, warm and welcoming, and it's felt like home very quickly. So we want to stay forever.
So I'm born and bred in Bathurst. I was in Orange, or went to Orange for university, but then moved back here. I didn't really see a reason why I would need to leave Bathurst. The hospital sort of has all the services and sort of career trajectory that I wanted. My role is the rehab senior here on the rehab ward. A typical day today, I've got a few students on board that I'm supervising from Charles Sturt University. They have their own sort of patient caseload that they're chipping away with and seeing them day to day. This afternoon we've actually got a bit of a balance group running for our patients. That's a station-based group where they go through individual stations, complete different exercises.
Working at a big tertiary hospital, Westmead Hospital, for about 10 years, moving to Bathurst was a really scary big change. I loved working at Westmead Hospital and I wasn't sure what it would be like working at a smaller site, but I was really impressed with the facilities here and all the different areas of physiotherapy that you can still work across. A good emergency department, intensive care unit, paediatrics, outpatients, women's health, being able to see a smaller site, being able to cover a wide range of patient populations was really excellent, and knowing that I wasn't going to be missing out on some of those specialty areas that I love to work in. Definitely noticed that my step count was down significantly working at Bathurst Hospital compared to Westmead, and yeah, just really that it's the time that I'm saving, not having to have that long commute. It's just so much easier going here, such a better lifestyle in general. Everything's so much simpler, easier. I get to spend more time with my family, not having to deal with all that other stuff. The workplace has been a lot more flexible too. Our physiotherapy head has been really flexible with myself coming into the role, having a young daughter, being able to go home when she's having issues. So because I came back to work about 6 months after she was born. So being able to, duck home, come back, have a really nice flexible work-life balance has been everything. And I kind of think about how that would have been if I was still working at a big hospital, how much more challenging that would have been. So it's been a really good step for us. Tonight we are going to Jack Duggan's pub for trivia. Last week our trivia team won the jackpot, $1,000. So we're spending our winnings tonight for a big blowout at the pub.
He's a gorgeous little dog. But do you know what the dogs do? They come and visit some of our patients that are in hospital, and they also come and visit some of the staff, and they make our patients and our staff feel happy and calm and less worried about things. So we like having them.
Can I tell you a cool story, Linda?
Yes.
This morning, Ruby said to me, she said, "Mum, you know how I've got an appointment in Orange next week?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Do you think we could ask Sophie if we could borrow Sadie?" And I said, "I will have to ask Sadie, and I'll have to ask Sophie, and I'll have to ask the hospital." But what I thought was really good about that was that Ruby could recognise that she needed some help, and she could recognise what it was that would help her for that. So I thought that was really cool.
One of my life philosophies is that little things can make a big difference, and I reckon that really sums up our role as occupational therapists, even allied health, that little things make a big difference, and this is a prime example of that. So yeah, proud of the team, proud of the patients, and proud of the four-legged members of our team as well.
I'm Niall. I've been working here about 18 months. I work mainly in the MRI department. I grew up in Bathurst as well, so it was a bit of an easy decision for me to sort of come back after study to work out here. I love and enjoy it. It's great for my family, and I love playing soccer here too. There's quite a lot the town has to offer. And the hospital, I moved up here from the private in town, so I've noticed a big difference between working privately and publicly. This has been a great career move for me, moving up to the hospital into a more senior role in an MRI role. The staff, everyone up here has been really welcoming and great, and Bathurst as a town as a whole has a lot for families as well. I've got a young family.
My name's Lauren. I've lived in Bathurst my whole life as well, but moved away for uni and did various placements in other areas, but moved back to Bathurst about a year ago. I find it's a very nice town, very friendly, very warm. The hospital's really pretty cohesive, very friendly and welcoming as well. A lot of the departments work well together. in the hospital there's a good variety of work as well. We get a lot of outpatients, a lot of more routine stuff, a lot of fracture clinic, but then we also get a few emergency things like major traumas and stroke calls and things like that. So it's a good lot of diversity as well. Keep up your skills and keep you thinking, keep you on the ball. Outside of work, there's a good sporting environment. So there's lots of like soccer, football, netball. I participate in a netball competition, and it's in winter, and then in summer I do social water skiing at one of the dams around the town, and I also do roller skating as well quite regularly. We're quite fortunate to have a little roller class that comes to town once a week.
Hello, my name's Liv. I'm a radiographer and trainee sonographer here at Bathurst. I moved from Wagga to Bathurst about 2 years ago, I'd say, and originally from Sydney, so a big rural change for me. Bathurst has been really beneficial for my career because it has enabled me to do some travel and connect with our wider health district, which was amazing, and I think that given the opportunity I would tell anyone to do it. Socially in Bathurst, I don't know, the gyms in town are quite social. I think as a hospital we actually choose to spend a lot of time together, and we enjoy each other's company outside of work, which I think is very unique to a lot of workplaces. It's a pretty up-and-coming hospital. It's going through a lot of change at the moment, and I think it's only going to get better as the redevelopment starts to happen and the patients receive better care and more up-to-date services and that sort of stuff. We are a little bit more connected to larger centres like Sydney and the Blue Mountains, so I think it's nice that you don't feel too isolated. You're still living the rural lifestyle with nice people and a lower paced lifestyle, but you're still connected, which I think is really important for some people, especially if you do have families and stuff. I think being closer to a more metropolitan centre is important.
My name's Julie D'Souza, and I have lived in Bathurst since 1988 and originally came to teach nursing at Charles Sturt University. I've really enjoyed it. I'm into my 15th year working for community mental health. It's a great place. I work on the acute response team, which is that we deal with all of the referrals that come in from either the GPs, the family members or concerned people in the community, self-referrals, and then we do a quick triage to get a snapshot of what's going on for that person and decide whether we need to bring them in for a full assessment and see what's happening, depending on what their issues are. We also do a lot of home visits to check on people in the community and again assess what their needs are and what's best for them. And it's a great place to work. There's a good mix of old and new, and there's a lot of fun that we have in amongst all the stress of the work. But we have monthly birthday cake, which is very important. We often have monthly lunches together. It's a very good place. It's like any place, it has its bumps, but most of the time we all get on really well. We're very supportive of one another, and it's a great place to work.
Well, my name's Demi Byrne. I'm a clinical nurse specialist in the team. So I started here in 2021 as a new grad. So even though I wasn't in a new grad position, I started here with no experience and was really nurtured by the team. And I think, as Julie said, there's a really good skill mix in the team that allowed me to kind of feel like I was really supported in learning new skills and developing, clinical expertise in the area. During that time, I've done a graduate certificate through University of Tasmania, and at the moment I'm enrolled in a master's via the University of Newcastle, and that's all in psychiatric nursing because this is where I plan to stay. I now have 2 little boys, both engaging in sport and part of the community activities. They both love it here. Yeah, in terms of what else Bathurst has to offer, my husband's also in medical school at Orange, and he really enjoys it, and he's got his clinical rotation here in Bathurst as well, so we're now both working out of the hospital again, which is nice.
I'm Anne Howard. I've worked in various mental health areas across the span of my career, which is over 51 years. Recently I made the move to Bathurst. I am at that point of my career now where I'm thinking about retirement, so I only work 5-day fortnight, so I work 5 days and I have the pleasure of 9 off. I commute. I still live in Orange, but I commute to Bathurst. I think the biggest thing that attracted me to Bathurst Community Mental Health Team was the team spirit, the camaraderie that we have here, how everybody is open and transparent and trusting, and how we all share really willingly the knowledge, as you said. The light gets my eye, sorry. It's a happy environment 90% of the time. We have our stresses, of course, when we come across some of the most difficult scenarios that tug at our moral compass, so to speak. But I think that companionship of one another and the sharing between the team helps us overcome some of that vicarious trauma that a lot of other teams possibly suffer with and don't acknowledge. Yeah, and I plan to end my career here. That's all I have to say.
How lucky are we?
How lucky am I?
I think we're done.
So my name's Jane Thompson and I'm a registered nurse with the Cardiopulmonary Rehab Program here at Bathurst Health Service, and this is Tori.
Hi, so I've been working alongside Jane for probably about 2 years now, on and off.
Yeah.
But relatively new to the program myself.
So I've been running this program part-time for the last 15 years with this health service. It has been going a lot longer than that, and it's gone through a number of different phases with staffing levels, locations, and so finally we're out here at the Oka Medical Centre running off-site from the hospital, and the atmosphere, the location, it's beautiful. Ideal. Yeah, ideal for our clientele, people with cardiac issues, lung issues, and we've taken on long COVID. And the goal of our program is to help them self-manage their disease and feel confident to be able to stay at home. And reducing the length of time between admissions as well. So, and there is evidence, strong evidence showing that these programs do prevent readmissions or extend admissions for people. So it's a worthwhile program, and we're big advocates of this program. We enjoy it. We love working with each other. And I'm a Sydney girl and came out to Bathurst, and I love the country lifestyle. I like that it's not so busy. You can get to your appointments really quickly. There's not many traffic lights. It is, it can get really cold, it can get really hot, but you see the seasons change and it's beautiful.
And it is still only, an hour and a half, 2 hours to Sydney. So you're still relatively close by to things.
There's great schools. I've had 2 children go through school here, university, yet they still are so close to Sydney to really have the best of both worlds. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Maxine Whitchurch. I'm a community outreach occupational therapist. I work here in Bathurst. We're based down here in the community in a nice little cottage in William Street with other community health workers. And I work across the areas or across the district, so I travel to other communities. So I service Bathurst and a whole lot of the little rural villages. I travel up to an hour and a half in different directions, and my role as an occupational therapist is to try and help people remain at home as long as they can, to help them to be as well and healthy as they can be, Our referrals come through My Aged Care. We mostly service people who are 65 years and older, or people who are 50 if they're from an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander background. We do a lot of home visits, so we visit people in their homes, in the communities that they live and work in, and we do a lot of assessments looking at their functional ability, what they're able to do day by day, what they're finding challenging, trying to problem solve with them, work out ways to help them be as safe and independent as they can be. One of the things I really love about the job is just having the time and freedom to meet with clients, to get to know them a little bit, to work out the things that they enjoy, what's important to them, what their goals are, and then working with them to come up with plans to help them achieve that. I've been living in Bathurst 25 years now. I moved here when our son was young, and then my daughter was born here. It's a great place to bring up children. It's a really friendly community. There's lots of different cultural and sporting things to do. Lots of music happens here. Lots of opportunities to be involved in all sorts of sporting activities. The art community is very strong here as well. The Bathurst Entertainment Centre has lots of good production, so it's really easy to access cultural events here as well. We've got a great art gallery, a good library, different museums. There's lots of wonderful outdoor activities to be involved in here if you like kayaking and dragon boating and stand-up paddleboarding, which is something that I've been learning the last few months, which is fun. There's different camping areas around, fishing, four-wheel driving, all that sort of thing is very accessible here. We're not too far from the Blue Mountains. There's caves in the area. I love the seasons in Bathurst. People say it gets cold, which it does, but it's a lovely community. It's growing. It's quite a diverse community. There's always new people coming in, so it's a very accepting community and easy to get to know people. So come along and join this fabulous community.
Hi, my name's Loretta Stanley. I'm the Aboriginal health worker practitioner here at Bathurst Hospital. I'm a proud Wiradjuri woman, originally from Wellington, New South Wales. I've lived in Bathurst for the last 5 years. I moved here for my family.
Yeah, my name's Richard Simpson. I'm a proud Gamilaraay man from Walgett, northwest New South Wales. I moved to Bathurst in 2013. Been working at Bathurst Hospital for the last 10 years.
Yeah, so Richard and I, about our job as Aboriginal health workers, we do our rounds on the wards at the hospital. We support all our mob, our people that are on the wards, that are inpatients. We run programs out into the community, and we also work with the other Aboriginal organisations within Bathurst, New South Wales. So we have an Aboriginal interagency where all the Aboriginal organisations come together to run programs and stuff within the community. We also try to engage our mob and people into getting Aboriginal health checks and seeing specialists and everything else that's provided by the hospital.
Yeah, and just within the agency, we share information, see what programs other services and organisations have within their facility. It's very valuable. Meeting every 2 months we have, and
so we also have a Mwang Yarn Circle. So Mwang means all together, because within Bathurst we have all different nations here within Bathurst. A lot of people, reside, and they come from
all the smaller
communities out west, because they find that we have a lot more services here in Bathurst to support their health needs, and because it's a resettlement town here in Bathurst, that a lot of mob relocated here, so a lot of them come out and join their families here in Bathurst. We'd like to encourage our mob, our people out there, to get into health, our mob and our people, and to educate and give them the knowledge and understanding of how important health is to them as it is to us. So we're here as health workers to provide that to our community and just not just on the health side as well, it's about the emotional, the social emotional well-being of our people as well, and just getting them the 2 appointments and getting them services to be involved in their life.
Since we moved to Bathurst, we find Bathurst is a good place to live. You get some significant sites around here, like Mount Panorama is famous for the Bathurst 1000. There's a lot of nice shops here, restaurants, and it's a really good place for people to move to and come down and live. It's very spacious and more open than the city life, so yeah.
Hi, my name's Laurie Atchison. I'm a nurse practitioner dealing with chronic care at Bathurst Hospital in Western New South Wales Health. Originally I come from Newcastle, but relocated back in 2013 just for a bit of a tree change. In terms of what my role is, I'm a nurse practitioner for chronic care. So I'm a nurse that's done extra study to the level of master's degree level, which allows me to order diagnostic investigations, prescribe medication and diagnose patients. The benefit of working with our local health service is I get to integrate and collaborate with lots of different teams, including inpatient teams, medical specialists, including medical wards, rehab wards, ICU, community nursing, which is based here at the hospital. Also our PHN as well, our GPs, which are the core foundation of our collaboration. And my role entails being the link between the hospital, GPs and medical specialists to help support and provide care for patients with their chronic diseases. The standard of care within Bathurst Hospital is extremely high. We've got expertises pertaining to these chronic diseases and other areas as well to support our patients with their chronic needs. In terms of educational opportunities in Western New South Wales, there's many to choose from. Locally this year, we're providing a chronic care education day open to all nurses, doctors, whoever wants to attend. This is hopefully going to be a yearly event. Also that we've got education aligned with the primary health network locally, drug companies that come in and provide education in terms of their medications and other products, specialist education, education within the hospital settings, and education within those hospital settings are driven by medical specialists and supports within the hospital. Outside of work, socially, there's plenty of opportunity around Bathurst and Western New South Wales Health. Since I come here in 2013, I've been fortunate enough to partake in martial arts, and in particular karate, which I hadn't done for many, many years. Since then I've been teaching martial arts for a long period of time. I got to represent Australia last year to fight at the World Championships in Japan, and I got a silver medal for fighting. I've managed to be a netball coach, which I just fell into when my daughter's coach retired, and become the vice president of the local netball club. Also other things that are fantastic around the local area, we've got great trails for bike riding as well. Even in the cold weather it's quite enjoyable. Also around the area we've got lots of local cafes, great coffee, great food. There's many, many to choose from in our local area.
Hi, my name's Emily. I'm the manager of speech pathology in Bathurst.
And my name's Kira, and I started in Bathurst nearly 12 months ago now.
There's been some great things about working in a rural area. I've worked in metro, regional, rural and remote areas. I've been really attracted to working in a rural area because of the diversity of clinical experiences and other opportunities for leadership, management, clinical education projects and research that I've been able to do as part of my career. I started in a very rural area in South Australia, and I've moved around a little bit, and I've settled in Bathurst because I like the style of work, I like the community, I like the short commutes to work and the opportunities that I've had in Bathurst.
I grew up in Sydney and I went to university in Sydney, so this is my first experience living out of home as well as out of Sydney. And my favourite things about moving here for my career has been the diversity of clinical experience. So I get to work in a role that isn't just peds focused or just adults focused. I get to do a little bit of both, which has been really, really good and really exciting. And I've also loved living in Bathurst because the community is a little bit smaller. So I feel like in my work, I actually get to see the difference that I make. I've also really loved how much more affordable it is than Sydney, and how there's a much shorter commute to work.
I have a 10-minute walk to work. I'm very fortunate.
I have to drive 4 minutes to work.
And that's been really great for my lifestyle. I'm able to do a little bit extra at work because I only have to walk 10 minutes home. 10 minutes in the other direction is the gym and town. I really like the food and the culture out here, the sporting opportunities, the lifestyle. My husband also works in the hospital, and the childcare and school options out here are excellent. I've had so many opportunities in my career to do not only clinical things, but leadership and management, clinical supervision. We were very fortunate to get a New South Wales Health Translational Research grant a few years ago, partnering with the amazing Sharon McLeod. That wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have those relationships and community out here. And that has been such an amazing experience for my career. We hope to see you here. We have such varied opportunities out here.
She's right.
My name's Robert Patterson, and I have been working here as a cleaner for about 4 years. I started cleaning as soon as I got out of school, and I've been using this as a job casually to get myself through uni, and I've been loving this job since I've started. I find that everyone can get along. It's a very diverse workplace, but everyone gets along, has a good laugh. The hours are good. You start early, finish early, or start late, finish late, so you always have half a day to get everything done, like shopping and relaxation. Yeah, Bathurst is a good town because it's quite small, although it is growing as of late, but you get lots of benefits of a growing town. Like we have, again, lots of restaurants of different backgrounds, pizza restaurants, Indian, Italian, Japanese, and it's getting more and more diverse with more stuff to do. We've got bowling, movies, a lot of small town things, small town charm with big city things to do.
Hello, welcome to Bathurst Cancer Care Services, affectionately known as Daffodil Cottage. And it is a very unique place to work. The reason it's unique is that we strive to have a really open, friendly, non-clinical environment for patients and their families to come to. Obviously, the treatment areas are clinical and adhere to all the standards of care, but otherwise, we try and make it very, very welcoming to everybody. We have the most beautiful garden. The patients, family members, staff and other staff throughout the hospital can come down and enjoy. We have a really open, light, airy building, so there's lots of windows, lots of natural light coming in, which is a huge benefit to not only the patients but also to staff wellbeing. We are well supported by the main hospital, especially if we have a clinical review or a rapid response is required. People that work here really enjoy working here due to, one, the environment, and secondly, is we're all here for the one purpose, and that is to actually help out our patients. Cancer is a chronic illness, so therefore we actually get to know the patients really well. We get to feel as though we're part of their family, and they actually feel very comfortable talking to us. That is one of the reasons what actually gives me great job satisfaction is knowing that we are helping the people of the Bathurst community when they are diagnosed with cancer, and we can provide many, many services for them. Daffodil Cottage is a great place to work in, and we're very well supported with our staff and their standard of care. We have cancer care coordinator, We have a McGrath breast care nurse, prostate cancer specialist nurse, haematology specialist nurse. We've got haematologists, medical oncologists, and we have an on-site medical oncologist as well. We have highly qualified treating nurses, and we have oncology pharmacist, oncology dietitian, lymphedema therapist, an amazing administration team, and we're also extremely well supported with volunteers and the community. The community is very invested in Daffodil Cottage, and they, in fact, who built it originally back in 1996. The reasons that I love living in Bathurst and I actually really like coming to work is that community feel. I've lived in Bathurst for over 30 years. I've raised a family here, and it's a great community feel. There are sporting groups, interest groups, there's hikes that are close by if you're into bushwalks and the outdoor life. You've got the river, you've got the dams for water skiing, you've got vineyards around. There is a lot to offer in Bathurst.
Hi, I'm Ali and I'm the nursing unit manager here on the Bathurst Medical Ward.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm the acting educator here as well.
So today we're going to talk to you about a few reasons why we love working here and we love living in Bathurst. I moved from Sydney 4 years ago and I would honestly never move back to Sydney now. I love the open green spaces out here. I love how there's always some amazing events happening in the town, like the Winter Festival in July. And I love the community spirit in Bathurst. I feel you can always walk around, you can always walk down the road and someone will always smile at you and say hello. So we work on the medical ward and it's a 32-bedded ward. It's a crazy place, but it's a brilliant place to work. We have all the general medicine specialties down here on the ward. We have a stroke unit and we have cardiac patients on telemetry monitoring. I guess one of my favourite things about the ward is that we work so well in a cohesive team. We have a large multidisciplinary team and I really feel that our care is really tailored holistically to the patient. We have lots of meetings where we do integrated rounds with patients and where we do bedside rounding with our allied health, and I love that because I really feel like that the person is in the centre of their care when we do that. What about you, Josh? What do you love about working here at Bathurst?
Oh, as Ali said, we've got fantastic facilities here, but I think what's kept me coming back to Bathurst is the culture and the work environment. I feel very supported with my colleagues and there's always new people coming in and out of the facility. It's just a great place to learn.
Yeah, definitely. I think the culture here is lovely. There's no one that you would ask for help and they would say no to you. We have such a cohesive team down here and our nurses also have a lot of fun down here, so it's a really fun environment to work in as well. Yeah, and I think one of the major things from Metropolitan Hospital is that you may have a solely dedicated respiratory ward, for example, but here on the Gen Med ward, all of our nurses are very skilled over the variety of Gen Med specialties, whether that be cardiac or stroke, endocrine, neurology. We see it all down here, so the nurses do need to have quite a broad range of their expertise of skills, which is fabulous for their career progression as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Umesh Shah. I'm the Director of Intensive Care Unit here in Bathurst. After my training for almost 6-7 years working in a metropolitan city, Sydney plus a couple of years in Adelaide, I got a chance to work as a Director of Intensive Care Unit here in Bathurst. I had visited Bathurst before. It's such a lovely town. And I feel there are a lot of advantages of working in a regional area where first and foremost you have a very lovely work-life balance. You know, there is not much of traveling time involved. You leave the hospital and 5 minutes later you are at home. Second thing, it's such a close-knit community. You see your nurses in the hospital, then you see them outside at the shopping place, you see them in cafe. So I think working in a small area is a more advantage, as in the life is very settled and peaceful. You do the same stuff you do in ICU here, what you do in ICU in any bigger city, except we are resource limited. But if we get patients who are who require complex treatment, we shift them out. But working in a regional area, working in a rural area, I think you get more challenges, and then facing those challenges, I think improves your quality. The things I like about Bathurst is it's a very lovely area surrounded by mountains. Bathurst has a lot of things to offer, excellent cafes, a lot of places to visit around, a lot of greenery. And I think though it is 2 hours away from Sydney, it's actually a regional living. Like, just to give an example, I live in my house, in my backyard. I can see kangaroos running around, I can see horses because there's a horse paddock next to my house. And at the same time, you get all the modern amenities you can think of. So overall, you earn same amount of money, but you have a lot of peace in your life. I can look after myself and my family, give them more time, and do the same work. That is what I think about living in Bathurst. And if possible, I'll probably spend my whole life living here in Bathurst.
My name's Phoebe. I'm one of the ICU registrars working at Bathurst. I am working here essentially as a rotation from Sydney. I live and work in Sydney usually. Working in Bathurst is really lovely. The people here are really nice. The medicine is really rewarding and quite interesting and diverse. The town of Bathurst as well is it's beautiful, particularly this time of year. It's autumn at the moment. And the colours are changing and it's just beautiful. Everyone around is just really lovely and friendly, and it's just a really nice place to work. So working in the ICU in Bathurst, it's quite different to working when I've worked previously in tertiary ICUs. It's much smaller. The relationships with the nursing staff and the doctors are all really fantastic. Everyone here is really lovely and it's a really nice team environment. I think when I came to Bathurst, I was a bit worried that the work wouldn't be as interesting or the patients wouldn't be as sort of diverse and unwell, but I think that's really not been the case at all. We get really a wide range of presentations and we can really do a lot here, and it's not that dissimilar to all of the things we can do and all the resources we have access to at a tertiary hospital, which is pretty cool.
Hello, how are you going? My name's Catherine Poskic. I'm the Nurse Unit Manager of the Surgical Ward here in Bathurst. It's such a rewarding career, nursing. I've been nursing now for 30 years. I was in Sydney at a few of the major metro hospitals and then came back out here. There's so many opportunities that you've actually got in Western New South Wales. Bathurst, and that where we're located, we do have lots of opportunities in that for medical, nursing, allied health. It's a really, really diverse area that we work in. No 2 days are actually ever the same. I started off, as I said, 30 years ago and worked my way through from being a junior RN, did lots of postgraduate studies. I've got 2 postgraduate masters and I've got a postgraduate certificate in immunisation and also another postgraduate certificate in orthopaedic nursing, which some are supported as well by New South Wales Health, so there is certainly educational opportunities for you. It is a really, really great area that we can work in, that we get to work with so many different people from so many different walks of life, and I always find it's a really, really rewarding career. So if you're thinking about doing it, no matter what area you want to get into, I would say go for it. So living in Bathurst, we're very close to Sydney, 2.5 hours, 3 hours or so into the city. We've got excellent train services, and if you needed to, there's 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, so there's certainly ways that you can go down to Sydney, have lunch, come back, still reap the benefits in that of actually working in a rural and living in a rural area, but still close access to things if you wanted to do anything in Sydney. Cost of living and that the pressures and that certainly are here, certainly not as bad as they would be in Sydney. There's lots of gyms, there's lots of educations, there's lots of parks, there's so many things to do. I'm one of those people that's a runner, so there's park run, I run marathons, so there's certainly areas that you can do here. Lots of things that you can get involved in. There's some excellent restaurants. We have quite a lot of museums as well. We've got a T-Rex skeleton here as well. It's one of the only ones in the Southern Hemisphere, so it's a very diverse area and that we live and work on. And yeah, there's certainly something for everyone, and the shopping, the food, everything is just amazing. There's some great education areas as well, so we've got lots of other schools, we've got a university here, there's lots of things that's available for people. Anyway, highly recommend coming out to this area, you won't regret it.
Hi everyone, my name's Jess, I'm a midwife at Bathurst.
And I'm Kat, and I'm a registered midwife as well. I've been here for about 10 months now.
I've been here for, I think about 9 years, I think, total. I really love working in Bathurst. I've seen quite a few staff come through over the 10 years, but we're a relatively smaller team. Being rural, we do kind of work in all areas of maternity. So in Bathurst, you get the experience of working in the special care nursery, but we do postnatal, antenatal in the clinic, and we do birthing as well. So if you want to come to Bathurst and get a great experience doing all different parts of midwifery, Bathurst is a good spot for that.
Yeah, I think being here for 10 months so far, I've found that you get real autonomy here, with your midwifery skills. I think it's quite midwifery led. Like you do have your doctors here, but most of the women are low risk, and anything high risk sort of goes elsewhere. I find the teamwork here is really fantastic. It is a smaller team, and you all get to know each other and what's going on. Great sort of community as well.
Yeah, and I think we form great friendships with everyone we work with as well. Most of us are pretty young, have kids, all similar ages as well, so that's a great little connection. And I think it's really flexible here. Like, you know, with the kids, we can try to work around kids and events and things like that. And
doing shift work and everything. Boss is pretty good at working around children and care and things like that.
Yeah, like the majority of our women are spontaneous labourers who come in, and us as midwives look after them mainly. Like our doctors are on call, but I think we do get a really great experience of a little bit of high risk and that middle range, and then a lot of low risk women as well with that spontaneous labour. So it's good to have all that.
It is, and it's great that you get to do everything. You do antenatal care, outpatients, you do postnatal care, breastfeeding, and admitting babies to the nursery, respiratory distress, things like that, and doing your birthing as well. So you get a whole range of experience, which is great, and you don't lose those skills just working in one area. You get to do it all.
Yeah, every day is kind of different. You don't know where, you know, sometimes you're on postnatal one day and birthing the next, or on some days you're doing absolutely all of those. We don't have birthing baths or birthing pools at the moment, but I think we're aiming to get that. We're having a big redevelopment of our maternity unit soon, or in a few years. So we will have a fresh new maternity in a couple of years, which will be, that'll be nice.
Bit more modern, nice big birthing pools, be able to do water births and things like that, which is exciting. New things to come. So living in Bathurst, I live half an hour away and I come into Bathurst to work. There's a lot to offer here. It's a very kid-friendly town, very family-centred, that country vibe. Only 45 minutes down the road, you've got Orange as well that has wineries and, places to eat. But there's plenty here to do in Bathurst as well. Lots of sporting, rugby, netball, hockey.
Yeah. All my kids play sport of a weekend mainly. We go to the parks a lot. They do offer some really good kids parks, good playgrounds and stuff like that. The nightlife's pretty good. Not that I'm into the nightlife anymore. We're kind of busy with kids, but we've got heaps of pubs and playgrounds and I think sport's really big in Bathurst too. Like kids sport, like with school. We have some wonderful schools. I live in a little village just outside of Bathurst. It takes me about 15-20 minutes to come into Bathurst. Traffic is beautiful compared to
nothing.
Sydney and places like that. But yeah, traffic's not much you have to deal with. It's quite a nice country vibe in Bathurst.
So cost of living out here is, you know, quite a bit different to living in your metro Sydney areas and whatnot. Like I recently bought a house about 2 years ago, much cheaper out here than trying to buy something in Sydney in a tiny little apartment.
Yeah, and often you get bigger land as well with the house, or you've got that option of living a little bit out of town and having a couple of acres if you want, like a nice big garden or places for kids to run around, in-ground pool. Things like that. So Bathurst, you can live in a city, but you can kind of pick and choose in Bathurst, which is nice, you know.
And plenty of daycare centres to get your children into. I know that's a hard one.
A big thing, that is hard.
In city places, but
childcare.
generally pretty good out here, childcare and schooling.
Yeah.